Alright, hey guys, what's up? 8-Byte Brian here, and I am back once again for my monthly flea market and thrift store pickups for the month of August. So I know this one came out a little bit later than usual, but without any further ado, let's jump right in it and check out some of the cool toys and video games and other miscellaneous things that I picked up over the last month. So let's start things off with toys as usual. I picked up a good haul of Transformers this month. And first on that list, I got Octane. He was only $1, but he's in pretty rough shape. He transforms, but he's missing his main wing and all the decals. But for $1, I figured, hey, if I ever find the parts for him, I'll put them back together. And if not, I'll send them off to another Goodwill, and maybe someone else can make some use out of them. I also found half of a Pretender shell. This is a Bomb Blast, I believe. And he was, again, $1. Just thought he was cool for $1. Hopefully, maybe I'll find the back half to him. But you don't see these shells too often, and for $1, that's really cheap. Can't go wrong. For $2, I picked this up, which was a great find, I think. He is missing his left arm, but this is a Omega Supreme body. The motor works, the battery terminals are nice and clean, the wheels seem to spin. So for $2, yeah, he's a pretty uncommon Transformer to find, and I'm hoping that I can maybe find his left arm and get the rest of his parts and, have a full Omega Supreme, so that'd be cool. And let's see, also a few more Transformers here. I found another Micromaster. I don't know what this guy's name is, but he's a little yellow construction crane. And I seem to be finding a lot of these recently. They're really cool, and they're just neat because they're very small, but they still have really good transformations for being that small. And last in the Transformers, I found this was about $1, I think. This was a McDonald's or Burger King Beast Wars Scorpion. I don't know what his actual name is. And his transformation is really simple. Just flip the legs down, and the arms go out. What can you expect from a Happy Meal toy? Not bad for $1. Right up the same vein, I also picked up a GoBot for $1. I don't know this guy's name, and he was in pretty rough shape. But for $1, figured, hey, why not? I'll add him to my little GoBot collection that I have, or pretty big GoBot collection now, actually, at this point. Some other neat toys that I found, too. I found an original Gumby figure. This is Blue Goo from the animated series. Paint's a little worn off, but these are still kind of hard to find. And again, for $1, can't beat it, so why not? I also picked up this really cool little Rocketeer gum candy dispenser. You don't see a lot of Rocketeer merchandise. He has the rocket pack or jet pack or whatever you want to call it on the back and the helmet and everything, and he's still sealed and looks nice even just standing up by himself, because there were some action figures made for it, but there's very, very little made for the Rocketeer line, so I thought that was just cool again for $1 to pick up. And I also picked up this little Digimon figure. I don't know his name, but he was $1, and I thought he was pretty cool. He sits on my shelf with my Nintendo games. And this little Bart Simpson PVC figure, which he kind of looks like he's laughing, or like maybe his stomach is hurting, like after him and Milhouse ate that like super sugar slushy at the Quickie Mart. But I thought that was a neat little PVC figure, and he was only $1. These were cool. I picked these up for $4, $2 a piece. These are original Return of the Jedi buttons, where you have Max Rebo playing his piano. Hopefully you guys can see that. I don't know how well that's going to show up. And I don't know who this is. It's an Ewok. It might be Wicket. Maybe one of you guys can tell me. I don't think it's Wicket, though. He's one of the smaller, younger ones, but I can't think of his name at the moment. And those are cool, finding little vintage Star Wars buttons for only $4, $2 a piece. I thought that was a good deal. And also picked up this cool Hot Wheels car. Didn't really get as much Hot Wheels as I usually do. I'm kind of phasing out of that, I think, right now. Unless I find any maybe red lines really cheap. But this is called the Bubble Gunner. And it just looks really cool. It has that cool 70s and 80s spaceship design with the bubble dome cockpit and the raised engine. And I like the green color and even the greenish yellow color on the dome. Just a nice looking Hot Wheels car overall. Let's see. I also picked up a whole really great bunch of, wrestling stuff in general this month. I picked up a lot of the early 90s mini wrestling figures and just a whole bunch of cool wrestling stuff. So all these guys I got in one lot. We got one of the Bushwhackers here. And these are like the early 90s ones where they have like little action movements and stuff. And I have the ring for them too, but that I've had for a while. And got the Ultimate Warrior. See, he does his little body press there. These are really nicely detailed, I think. And we got Brutus the Barber Beefcake. He's such a goofy character. One of the weirdest names, too. And got the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. Animal from the Legion of Doom, which is probably my favorite out of the whole lot. Again, it has like the headbutt action feature. It just looks great with the spiked football gear and everything. It looks really cool. And the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. And last but not least, of course, the Big Boss Man. And then I also got the Iron Sheik, but he's from the late 70s, early 80s large Titan Sports rubber wrestlers. And that whole lot of wrestlers only cost me $10 for the whole lot, which was a great deal, I think. The other wrestling stuff that I found too wasn't in the same lot, but this was really cheap. And really cool, because if you guys will remember, I found a lot of this stuff last month. I found a whole bunch of wrestling magazines. So I also found in that lot, found a 1-2-3 Kid pull-out poster, which is really sweet. And on the back, it has a calendar of different shows and live pay-per-views and TV shows and events on the back, so that's really neat. And also got this Shawn Michaels on the cover Winter 1995 catalog with all their Christmas merchandise, which that's just hilarious. Really fun. Nothing really too special, it just kind of just shows all their merchandise. You know, the only thing cool about it is the front, really. That's their winter catalog. And I had one of these already. I think I have some of the stickers too. This is a WWF Superstars sticker album book. And if you guys don't know what these are, you get the packs of stickers at like your local convenience store. And then where the numbers are, you'd match them up and it would fill in a picture. And your goal, of course, would be to fill up the whole book. But that's really cool. And then the other magazines that I got, we got Sid Justice, Yokozuna, Mr. Perfect, Macho Man Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Razor Ramon, and Diesel. And I got that whole stack of magazines and posters for only $3. That was a fantastic deal. Some other interesting stuff that I got too. I got this really cool Nintendo Super Mario Brothers coloring book from the 80s. Some really great pictures and images, and the whoever had this, like when they were growing up, they did a really good job coloring a lot of the pictures. Like, they were really well colored, really bright. And like, you have this one back here too. Excuse me, with Mario fighting the Koopas and Bullet Bills and everything. So really cool. I love stuff like this. You don't see a lot of the old Nintendo stuff like that, which is really neat. And also, I picked up this G.I. Joe: The Atlantis Factor manual. I think that was $2, but it's a really hard manual to find. And these are really cool. These are book and record sets, but this one doesn't have the record. This is The Adventures of Super Pac-Man. And you don't see any Super Pac-Man stuff whatsoever. And you have good black and white pictures of like the ghosts and everything. And then you have pictures here of, let's see if I can find a good one. There we go. Super Pac-Man to the rescue. Very neat. And I found a book and record set of Star Wars from The New Hope. From A New Hope, sorry, not The New Hope. And here's the record that would have came with it. Gold 45. And the pictures are just like, they're really just photos, but they're really good. And it gives you a little short synopsis of the movie. So these were fun. I remember listening to a lot of these growing up. And let's see. I also forgot about this little guy. I picked up this little Kool-Aid Man PVC figure where he's lifting some weights, and that would have been from the catalog, the Fun Factory, where you send away the proofs of purchase, and you could buy stuff like that, and they'd send it to you in the mail for really cheap for, you know, buying Kool-Aid and stuff like that. And I also picked up from Street Fighter. I already have Zangief from the collection. I think this is from Tournament Edition. Don't honestly remember off the top of my head. But this is Cammy. Like I said, I already have Zangief, and she was only $25. Pretty neat. And let's see, got a bunch of little handhelds too. This was $3. This is the Amazing Spider-Man Tiger Electronics game. And I think I tested this out. I don't know if it has batteries in it now. No, it doesn't, but it does work great. And I love all these because of the artwork. That's why anybody collects them, really. They're terrible games, but they're just fun to look at. Like, they're really cool. If you like, you know, video games and comics and stuff, the pictures are really neat. There's even an MC Hammer one out there, if you can believe that. That's worth a ton. Also picked up a few more handhelds. This is a boxed Blip, which is like an electronic Pong made by Tomy. And I had one of these before, but I think I got this for like $1. Really cheap. And maybe $2. No more than $2. And it's boxed with the battery cover and everything, so that's a really great find. Definitely worth a lot more than $1. And then I think this was like 3 or 4. This cleaned up really nicely though. This is another Tomy game. This is Tomytronics Tennis. You can actually play, there's 2 little figures, which most of these LED games didn't have that. but you can actually see the little figures as they swing their tennis rackets back and forth, and play a little game of tennis. Really neat. It just has a cool design to it. So it looks really neat. This is one of my favorite things that I found last month. This is, oddly enough, I think another Tomy product. Interesting how they're all Tomy. But this is called Space Invasion, which is obviously a ripoff of Space Invaders. And what you would do, see if this is set up right. There you go. You put the little button in stop. Then you pull this little lever down here. And you hit start, and you try to flick this little metal ball in between the Space Invaders to hit the UFO up at the top. And you have like a minute to see how many times that you can get it through there, and I have no idea how good I'm doing. Let's see. I don't know, because I didn't reset the counter, so maybe I got like 2 or 3 hits, but it still looks really cool. You know, that it's done off the Space Invader, so that's really neat. I guess we'll continue segueing into video games. I didn't really find a lot video game, honestly, related, like other toys and stuff that are kind of video game related, but not a lot of video games, honestly. This I got off of my friend Dan for, I think, like 15 bucks, which is a steal. And this is Darkwing Duck for the NES, which honestly, this is really the only video game I found the whole month. But seeing this is worth between 40 and 60, that's a hell of a hookup right there. It's a really fun game. It's hard, but it's really fun. So that's cool. And it's Darkwing Duck, so what's not to love? Also picked up this little EverDrive for the Game Boy Advance, where you put a little memory card in there, and then you can basically, turn your Game Boy Advance or SP into like a, full-blown emulator with a micro SD card and play whatever you want on it, basically. Very cool. I got 1 or 2 other video game things that I'll save till the very end, though. And let's see, this is neat too. I found this comic. This is Doom Patrol number 101 from 1966. And while this comic is missing the cover, this is very important because this is the 4th appearance of Beast Boy from the Teen Titans. That's his 4th appearance in comics. So even without the jacket, it's still at least worth close to 15, 20 bucks. And it's just cool because that's a, it's a key issue, not as key as some comics, but for a 4th appearance of a character that now we're Teen Titans is really becoming popular. I just think that's really neat because Doom Patrol, yeah, that has its following, but in general, most people have no idea what Doom Patrol is, and most of those characters didn't really take off from that series, so it's only worth something because you'd see other characters introduced into comics like that nobody really knew about. So that's what gives it any value whatsoever. And let's see, also found a lot of neat audio and video stuff this month. Found a bunch of cool 8-tracks. I got Bad Company, Burning Sky. These were all $1 a piece. And if you're asking yourself, Brian, why on earth are you buying 8-tracks? Well, that's because my dad's old stereo has an 8-track player, and I just think it's cool to collect rock music and other music that I like on a format that's basically obsolete. It's fun to see things that are, just unusual. Sure, hey, I can listen to it all on my iTunes, but it's a totally different experience to take the same album on an 8-track and listen to it in a very more manual way. This is the soundtrack from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Very cool. And I really like this one because this has the case. This is a Jethro Tull War Child. Which is a really wild cover, but you don't usually see, that's the sleeve that it came with. You don't usually see those. They're usually just this and, in a generic generic box like this, just like a generic box. You don't usually see one that has the band information. Like this just says, 8-track, and that's Jethro Tull. So that's really neat. I think that's neat just to have that. And Jethro Tull's awesome, so hey, can't go wrong. And another album I don't think I've heard of before, Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen, sorry. I know who Bruce Springsteen is, just stuttered there for a second. And Darkness on the Edge of Town. I don't remember if there's any songs I recognize off there. Streets of Fire, I think, and maybe Adam Raised a Cain. But other than that, I don't really know many of the songs off that album. But still, hey, it's Springsteen. It's a buck. Why not? And I also picked up a lot of good VHS this month. Again, for only a buck. This was awesome. This is the original, I believe this is the uncut version of Akira. So that is fantastic. That's a cult classic. Great, great, great movie. And again, the same thing. Why do I collect a lot of stuff on VHS? Yeah, I can watch it on Netflix. Yeah, I can have the DVD of it. But I like having the original copy of like when it first came out in the 80s. Like there's something cool about that, I think. I got a Real Ghostbusters. This is called Knock Knock from the cartoon series, VHS. And for some reason, there weren't a lot of Real Ghostbusters VHS tapes made. I have no idea why. Disney DuckTales. This is called Seafaring Sailors. And I actually just watched that a little bit ago. It's pretty fun. And it's DuckTales, so that's awesome. I think all these were $1 a piece as well. And this is very cool. We got the Terror of Mechagodzilla. So I love anything Godzilla. So I can't wait to watch that. I'm really trying to build up my Godzilla collection. I definitely do not have enough stuff. Not enough Godzilla-related merchandise. And let's see, I got a couple more here. I got a sealed, this is, for some reason, distributed by Pioneer, I don't know why, but this is Sailor Moon, the movie, and this is sealed. That's the only reason I got that. Not really a big Sailor Moon fan, but I figured since it's still sealed, it might have some value to it. And I also got, I think these were $1 or $2 each. No, these were $1 each. They were $1 each. Phantom 2040, the animated movie, The Ghost Who Walks. If you guys remember that cartoon series, that was really fun, so that's cool to see the movie. Give that a watch one of these days. And then we got, this is Digimon Digital Monsters, the Digi-Destined Child, and I think, yeah, this is just like 2 or 3 episodes. So it's not the movie or anything. But again, I don't see a lot of Digimon stuff. And I didn't even realize that. I got the tape and the figure both in the same month. Alrighty, so that is going to move me into my finds of the month. And unfortunately, I really can't choose, so it's plural. I've got 4 big, awesome finds that I found this month. And we'll go with, I'll go with the one that's the closest to me right now, and that would be the Roberts Supercolor Volley X. And this is a really rare Pong clone system. I believe this is from '77. And this thing was in horrible shape when I found it. I did a lot of sanding and buffing and cleaning to get it even to this shape. And was able to test it. It does work perfectly. So yeah, this was really cool. I think I only paid $10 for it, $8-10. And this goes for between like $80 to $100. It's very old and very rare, so that's a really cool find. Also, one of my other big finds of the month, which I think this was only $1. Well, no, this might have been $5. But anyway, it was still pretty cheap. I found Walt Disney Presents Tron on Select Division disc. And just look at that artwork. How awesome is that? That is so cool. That could be in a picture frame, and it's just really awesome. I haven't seen the movie in years, but man, gotta love that art. That's just beautiful, and especially with the blue plastic, that just really accents it. Really looks cool. And I also found, this is close, this is a tie with these two for my biggest find of the month. This is the A-Team. This would have been from the 3 1/4 like G.I. Joe size action figure line. This is the patrol boat, which I paid $5 for, and this is 100% complete, aside from the stickers unfortunately came off the side, and there would have been a little battery-powered outboard motor on the back, but there's little guns here. I don't know if I can take them off without breaking them. There's little guns that clip into the back here, has the little accessories. It came with this little figure in here. I don't know if he's one of the generic bad guys or not. I couldn't find any markings on him, but other than that, the entire thing is 100% complete. The rest of the labels inside are there, the windshield is there, the guns pivot, and just a really, really nice piece. And you don't see any A-Team 3 1/4 stuff anywhere. And I saw one of these online boxed going for $425, and that was it. There's nothing else even listed on this, so this is probably loose, even in its current condition, worth at least a good $50 or $60, I'd imagine. And that will bring me to my find of the month, which I know I've had 3 others so far, but this is definitely my biggest find of the month. And as you guys know from last month, I was given that B-Wing by my friend Mike, and just a few weeks later, I would come across a complete, this would have been an 80 or 83, let me see what the year on this is. Don't remember off the top of my head. So I don't remember if this came out in Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back. I think it was Empire. Anyway, I paid only $15 for this. This is 100% complete except one of the lower guns broke off, but you can't even really notice it. All the wings are there, all the rest of the guns are there. Everything moves. The landing gear comes out perfectly, and it just works absolutely great. If I can remember how to deploy the landing gear here. Let's see. I don't remember if there was a button that did that or not. Oh, there we go. Let's see if I can get that to work. There we go. A little hard to do it when you're on camera. But yeah, this thing is absolutely awesome. And it easily goes for $50 to $60 plus in this type of pristine condition. Cockpit rolls around, as you can see. Everything works, looks amazing. So that is definitely probably my find of the month for August. And I don't know why that will not close now. Might be because the landing gear's up. There we go. Alrighty. Alright guys, well that will do it for my monthly pickups, flea market finds, and thrift store pickups for the month of August. Remember to definitely tweet me pictures of everything you guys are finding out there. You can always find me at King of Retro on Facebook or hashtag 8ByteBrian, and follow me on Twitter. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below as always. And make sure, have fun out there, and keep hunting and hitting those flea markets. Till next time, guys.
Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and you can follow me at Facebook at King of Retro or Twitter at hashtag 8ByteBrian. See you next time.